So hello everybody and welcome to the 10th lesson of this course. I chose to dedicate an entire lesson of this course on vlogging because vlogging nowadays has seen a huge rise. It is a very interesting way of documenting, capturing and sharing your life. So in this lesson we are discussing everything when it comes to vlogging. Let's launch this presentation and let's dive into this relatively new area of videography. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, welcome to the 10th lesson of this course in which we're going to be discussing about vlogging. This is going to be our typical lecture outline. We're going to start with the introduction. I'm going to introduce you to this relatively, again, new type of videography, how to document your life through vlogging. Then we're going to discuss the gear that you need to successfully produce a vlog and some tips that I have accumulated through my course in the space of vlogging. And of course, we're going to end this lesson with a recap. So, enough with the outline, let's move to the introduction of this lesson. So, what is a vlogging? Vlogging is pretty much a one-man crew movie about a subject of your life. You hold the camera, you capture your story, you capture your travels, you capture different events. Of course, the theme of the vlog is of your choice, but I want you to remember that vlogging again is a one-man crew video that you produce in any pretty much story of your life. Casey Neistat is the father of vlogging. You might have heard of him. This is him in this image right here. And this is a very typical vlogging setup right here, which we're going to discuss in this lesson. Again, the subject of a vlog could be of your interest, could be a simple story, could be a travel video of yours, or an event that you wanted to capture. Why should you start vlogging? And you should definitely start vlogging. Well, vlogging has many assets. First of all, you get to document your stories, you get to document your journey through life, and you don't even have to upload your vlogs online. You can keep them from yourself. This is what I do. I vlog every time that I go on a trip, for example, with my family or my friends. I take my camera with me and I vlog the trip just to remember those times, because video in general is way better when it comes to keeping memories than photographs. Now, if you want to go the other route and start sharing your vlogs online, which is of course way more profitable than keeping them in your hard drive, vlogging is a great way to share your ideas and share your thoughts through life with a wider audience. So it is very easy again to produce a vlog by yourself, and the fact that you can upload it online reach a huge audience is very helpful. In addition to that, the fact that you can reach a huge audience is very helpful to inspire others. So many people can get inspired from your vlogs, just for example, like I got inspired from other people's vlogs. The final again reason to start vlogging is the fact that it has a very low barrier to beginners. It is very easy again to produce a vlog. You just set up your camera, you talk to the camera, and the editing is fairly simple. So these are 4 basic concepts on why you should start vlogging as soon as you finish this lesson. Let's now debunk some common myths when it comes to vlogging. The first myth is that you need expensive gear to produce a vlog. This is a complete myth, and again we will dive deeper into the gear you're going to need to produce a vlog in this lesson. Basically, just like in every other gear piece category that we have analyzed in this course, and we have analyzed a lot of different gear pieces, there are expensive options and cheap options. You don't just need expensive gear to produce vlogs. This is a myth. The second myth is that you must know how to edit well to produce a vlog. This is also a myth. You don't need to have excessive editing skills to produce a vlog. It is fairly simple. For example, vlogging videos, when it comes to my journey in videography, were the first type of videos that I started to produce before I knew how to shoot, before I knew how to edit. The third myth when it comes to vlogging is that vlogging is only for YouTubers. It is only for people that share their stories online. This is again a myth. As we said, documenting your life, even keeping those videos by yourself, produces great memories and is a great way again to produce videos, become better at videography, and remember your travels and journeys. So these are 3 myths that I wanted to get out of the way when it comes to vlogging. Now we can start with the gear that you need to produce again vlog videos. So let's go. Obviously, and in every video occasion, we're going to need a camera to capture our videos. And when I say camera, I mean a combination of a sensor, a lens, and a microphone. This, of course, is dedicated in smartphone videography, so the camera in this case is going to be your smartphone. And trust me, smartphones are perfect for vlogging. They auto-compensate in the constantly changing lighting and sound conditions of the outdoors, which of course is where we're going to shoot vlogs. Most vlogs are shot outdoors, and cameras again do a great job to compensate in those constantly changing conditions that we find there. In addition to that, remember that battery and storage is always going to be an issue. So it's good for you to have a power bank as well as external storage to add to your phone. This is going to be our two biggest difficulties when it comes to smartphone videography. Again, as we said, battery and storage. Now, if you see the setup of famous vloggers, expensive setups also have external microphones, because obviously when you're communicating with an audience, having a microphone and good audio quality is of key importance. So you could invest again in an external microphone if you want, but the internal microphone of your smartphone will just get the job done for basic vlogging. So this is the camera setup that you need for the vlogging. Now let's move to the very, very famous mount. It is recommended not to just hold your phone while vlogging. It is very, very recommended to strap it on a mount. Now, when it comes to mounts on vlogging, we have two very common and interesting options, and I have used both, so I can suggest you the best one. The first is a GorillaPod. GorillaPods are very famous when it comes to vlogs. Most vloggers use GorillaPods, and this is actually what I would suggest you to invest in. GorillaPods, as you can see in this image right here, have a mount for your phone, and they're easy to carry. They're extremely versatile. You can change from a tripod to mount the GorillaPod to a tree to pretty much produce any shot of your needs. They're also extremely value for money. These are relatively cheap and they last you for years. And as we said before, GorillaPods are kings of vlogging. It is to see vloggers carry those GorillaPods, they are very, very established in this field, and this is my personal mount of choice when it comes to vlogging. Now, the second option that you have is again to invest on a gimbal and vlog on a gimbal. Now, I have vlogged with a gimbal. They produce great stabilization, and another pro that they have is that they drastically increase the battery of your smartphone, because while you're shooting with a gimbal, the smartphone is plugged to the gimbal, so you don't have to stress about battery life. You only have to stress about storage. That being said, I know that gimbals again are hard to carry and they're pretty expensive, and the thing is that you don't want to have gear interfere with your vlogging experience. You want the story to be king, and it is okay to have a bit of shaky footage rather than compromise your story. This is why for the vlogging lesson of this course, I would actually suggest you to go with a gimbal and with a GorillaPod and not with a gimbal. Again, obviously you're gonna have greater stabilization results with a gimbal, but in vlogging we're not focusing on having superior videography, we're focusing on having superior storytelling. So this is why again go with a GorillaPod and not with a gimbal when it comes to the mounts. Finally, we're going to talk about editing. Editing vlogs is fairly simple. You don't have to be a perfectionist when editing vlogs. And remember that you don't need crazy softwares to achieve, again, a good vlog editing. Very basic softwares that you can find in your phone or for free on your MacBook or PC will work fine. And again, if you want to invest in a good editing software, we're going to discuss this in the next lessons. It is fair to do so because having more options when it comes to editing is always better. It's okay to have more features even if you don't use them. When editing vlogs, you want to focus again on the story and not to have superior videography or to follow all the rules of composition and lighting and stuff. We don't care that much about that stuff. We care about the story when we're editing vlogs. In addition to that, while editing vlogs, you are going to add music, you're gonna add sound effects and B-roll shots. So keep that in mind, but again, don't stress about editing vlogs that much. So this was the gear on vlogging. Now let me introduce you to some tips that I have to give you, again based on my experience with vlogging. I'm fairly experienced with vlogging. These are the 4 tips that we're going to analyze. The first tip is to keep your setup simple, then to film more than you think is enough, to not to get caught up with filming, and to edit when you have time. Now let's elaborate on each one of those tips. The first tip that I have to give you is, again, to keep your vlogging setup as simple and as basic as possible. This right here is an over-the-top vlogging setup, as you can see. It looks simple, but trust me, this is way more than you need. You probably are okay to vlog with just your phone. This guy has strapped his phone to a tripod and pretty much has an external microphone up on top of it. Remember, as a rule of thumb when it comes to vlogging, that more gear equals with more things to think about, and when you're thinking about your gear, you are dragging yourself away from the story, which is king when it comes to vlogs. Having a very basic and simple vlogging setup will help you focus on your story rather than your gear. If you insist on investing on gear and perfecting your vlogs, please get confident. Learn how to perfectly use each gear piece. Go out, experiment before you go on a trip, and count on your gear without even knowing if it works or not, because again, if you have more gear, there are more things to go wrong during the shoot. But if you don't want to go that route, keep it simple. This is how you will be able to focus on your story and make these videos flawless. The second tip that I have to give you is to constantly film more than you think that you need. The same tip applied in the outdoors and indoors shoot. Trust me, while you edit your clips, you will see that you will need more and more footage than you have shot. Now, because vlogs are miniature movies, of course, homemade, shot and made by yourself, you need to film more talking shots, film more B-roll, film more random stuff again to fill up those holes when it comes to editing. And trust me, there are going to be holes when it comes to editing. You will see that you will need more clips that you have shot, but it is okay. You will learn from experience to cover those holes as time passes. Moving on to the next tip, it is to not get caught up while filming. Now, I know that this tip and the previous tip actually don't go with each other very good, but trust me, it can get very overwhelming to know that you need to vlog every moment of the day. Don't let vlogging guide your day. Try to complement your day with switching on the camera and capturing some of the best moments. But don't forget to, most of the times, just switch off the camera, enjoy your time, live the moment, and find balance between, again, filming content and enjoying your day. Especially if you're on a trip, you don't want to be directly stressing about your gear, stressing about your cameras. Take a moment to, again, live in real life. It is cool to capture, it is cool to share, but you need to find balance or you will be just overwhelmed by vlogging. The final tip that I have to give you is to edit vlogs when you have time. Please don't rush the editing process, because once you export and you delete the clips from your hard drive, this is just a project that you have to watch and have as a memory. So you need to be careful in the editing process, because again, these are the memories that are going to be set from the vlog, or if you want to share it online, this is your thoughts that are going to be out on the web. Don't rush editing. Don't edit while you're on vacation if you're vlogging on vacation. Just take your time, import your footage at home from your setup, edit them from your setup, produce a good vlog, because again, this is what rests in your hard drive for years, months, so make sure not to rush it. This was pretty much the vlogging lesson. Let's just recap some of the basic features of this lesson. We talked about what is vlogging. It is a one-man's show. You turn up your camera, you share your thoughts with an audience, or you share your thoughts for yourself. You basically film your day and you create miniature movies. You can shoot A-roll, B-roll, talking shots. You share a story, share a travel, document an aspect of your life. We talked about why you need to vlog, again, to have personal memories or to share your thoughts with the world. And then we analyzed how to vlog, the different gear that you will need, the camera, the different mounting options that you have the camera when it comes to vlogging, again, GorillaPods or stabilizers. And we finished off with some tips that I have learned through my experience in the vlogging subcategory of filmmaking. So this is pretty much it when it comes to vlogging. Again, this is a relatively new videography and filmmaking technique. It is a new way to document your life and share your experiences with the world, and it is also a great way to start putting yourself out there. Now that we're done with the whole shooting process, shooting indoors, shooting outdoors, and how to vlog, it is time to launch our editing software and focus on post-production editing. So this is what is happening in the next lessons.